Good evening. I just thought I'd make a video. This is going to be a combination of things. Um, of course, the last video that I made, I was talking about the distinction between being grown and being an adult, and a few friends of mine wanted me to further elaborate on that. And I was going to do such, but after sitting, listening to the video, I don't really see any further meaning of elaborating on something that is just it's explained in its plainness. I mean, it's just that I don't know any more way that I can explain that. I felt as though I explained that objectively, in terms of what was said. There's some people that I know who's telling me that I should get further and further into the political arena in terms of what's going on in this country right now. However, that's really not my concern. I'm the type of person to where I understand that you're going to have to figure your life journey out in spite of what's going on around you and in spite of what the effects are in terms of what's going on around you. The whole thing is we just so happen to be born into a system of control, which is called a government system, which implies it governs the people based upon policies. We are born into a system of control. And so we have to understand that we are born into a system of control in which policies are designed to go against our natural born freedoms to even express ourselves nowadays. With this whole cancel culture and everything that's going on, this whole thing that's happening with the immigrants being brought into this country, and they're giving $15,000 worth of food stamps, and they're giving these immigrants $5,000 a month in order to survive. During this particular area time of the country being in the shape that it's in because of this administration. Of course, I mean, that's going to be a lot of people's concern based upon their personal condition, but you're still going to have to figure out some way to survive one way or the other, despite how you feel about what the government is doing for others. I mean, there's even a lot of people going around saying, well, they're trying to replace black people with these immigrants. And these immigrants are coming in, they're being invited into the country, and they're setting these people up. I believe that's true, but how many years have we been wasting time over here on things that are irrelevant? I mean, you have to take responsibility for that as well. We're over here shooting and killing one another. Our people are very much into these idols that we have created. These celebrities and these Beyoncés and these sexy reds and all of these people. We've wasted a lot of time over here, and we've created a culture that is detrimental to ourselves and therefore our future. We've shown ourselves to be irrelevant. And so when you see a people who are in this state of morality, you look at these people as irrelevant. And so sooner or later, Someone's going to try their best to try to replace a people like that, and that's just it. Now, I'm not saying that our people shouldn't stand up and speak against it, because a whole lot of us are. But at the same time, you're going to have to understand your part in this development. You're going to have to understand. You're just going to have to come to understand that we help create what's going on right now, because we have shown ourselves not to be productive. We have shown ourselves not to be productive. We've shown ourselves that we are not relevant even unto ourselves. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact. We wasted so much time beating up on ourselves. We wasted so much time and energy investing in these people who are corrupted. So when you show yourselves to be this type of community, and you show yourselves to where the only thing that you are investing in is corruption, I don't understand why a lot of people are surprised of what's going on right now. I mean, this government is going to see your flaws, and this government is going to capitalize off your flaws. This is the same government that allow you to destroy yourself. They allowing you to destroy yourself. They allowing these ditties and all of these other music people, and they are allowing this to transpire in our particular community in the name of entertainment. And we invest in our own corruption. Look at our black women. Look at them. You can't tell them nothing. Every time you look around, they got their backsides gyrating. Can't tell them nothing. You got our young men out there, they still quoting Tupac, still acting like Tupac, following behind a man who didn't even make it to 30 years old because of his state of mind. Come on, let's just be honest and be real and not so emotional. Oh, he talking about Tupac. Yes, I'm talking about Tupac. And if you study Tupac's life very closely, Tupac started out being a benefactor of our community, but during his last years, he ended up being a propagator of a degeneracy, a propagator of degeneracy. And if you look at everyone who backed him, like Suge, everybody's in jail, if not dead. So why don't we just move on from all of this degeneracy? But our people don't move on from it. And considering what's happening with these immigrants, I'm looking at it in a spiritual sense. These people are being invited. They're being invited into the country to try to replace black people. And a whole lot of you are walking around, oh, Kamala this, Kamala that, especially you degenerate black women. Oh, Kamala, oh, it's time. I even heard the brother say it's time for a female president. Oh, now she's going to be the first black president. She's not black, and she'll tell you that herself. What about what's coming out of her mouth? In one of her speeches, she wasn't speaking on behalf of black people. She was speaking on behalf of the same people that a whole lot of us are complaining about right now. The immigrants coming into this country. How the hell do you think they're getting here? How do you know that she's not behind everything that we're dealing with right now? And you're helping her. We're helping her because of our own degeneracy. And look at what you getting ready to do. You getting ready to vote her in because you've been put in the position to where you're either going to put Trump in office, who you claim is a racist, or you're going to put Kamala, whatever the hell her name is. You're going to put her in office, and she don't give a damn about you. The fact is, the economy needs to be resolved. Okay? And why would you try to vote somebody in office who helped destroy the economy simply because of the color of her skin? Where's the intelligence in it? In spite of how you feel about Trump, the economy was much better when he was in office. In spite, if you like him or not, who gives a damn what you like? Well, I don't like him. Cares? If he's better with this economy, I don't see no reason why he shouldn't be put in office. If he could fix this mess that we're in. Because she's not even in office right now. And you better believe she's behind the scenes of all of these immigrants coming into this country with all of this money and with all of the support. Look at what's happening in Chicago right now. You think she's not behind that? How are they getting here? Well, her administration is currently in office. They can't come over here without the permission of the current administration. What is your problem? You know, why can't you just see that? I mean, that's just the way it works. It's the way it works. So this country is in a very bad dilemma right now. So are you going to vote with intelligence, or are you going to vote based upon how you feel about somebody because you think he's a racist? The people, they say, are you a Trump supporter? I'm a welfare supporter, well-being supporter. Do you vote? Nope. But if you haven't, you don't have anything to say. I'll say what the hell I want. Okay? So you can miss me with that type of propaganda. I've already explained one of the primary reasons why I don't vote any of these politicians in, because I don't trust their moral decisions. And I don't want to be guilty of voting anyone in office that's going to spread bloodshed if a war happens to come up. But I'm not stupid either, because I do live in this current society. And as an intelligent man, I would rather put someone in office that's going to fix this mess that we're in, instead of being a supporter of degeneracy and a broken system. Oh, well, we're going to vote her in because she's a black woman, somebody who is not even claiming herself to be black. That's number one. And why would you vote the person in who was behind the current president who created the mess that we're in right now? I mean, to me, that's not intelligent at all. And as contradictory as this may sound to a whole lot of you, I could care less how it sounds. I could care less. If you're going to vote for someone, vote intelligent and put someone in office that's going to help clean up this mess that was made after he was in office. With all of that being said, I'm out of here. Peace.
You don't hang no signs about black people hating on immigrants, because black people ain't got no reason to hate on no immigrants.
Oh no, but the immigrants got
We
no reason to hate
everything
on
y'all
us.
are in there, son. Let me tell you something. You get them signs down. Anytime that Alden Lawson and Silverstein and what's that other?
Cesar
Can sit up
Lopez.
here and talk
Lopez.
about how they should get a hate crime bill because swastikas was in Ziploc bags in their community. They hung this in our community. We want it off the polls. We want that to be the beginning of a hate crime. And that organization, which is a white liberal organization, like in the words of Malcolm X, who told us what? That the white liberal is the worst enemy to the black man.
Yes.
And he
Black
is
America.
coming up in here acting like y'all representing some social justice.
Say that,
When all
sister.
along,
Say
all
that.
you're doing is trying to use black people
Say
to
that.
find a reason to make some money.
Say
Let me
that.
tell y'all something over there. With God, the Democratic Party is God. You ain't gonna listen to us like
Y'all
this
gonna
no
abuse
more.
us.
So I'm telling you what I'm
They
telling
get to
you.
abuse the black
Trump
American.
gonna come in here and gonna clean it up. I'm telling you,
away.
the ones that have a righteous heart, you leave the Democratic Party. Do just like RFK Jr., just do like that Tulsa lady. You better get up out the Democratic Party. Save yourself, save your families, save your dignity, save your jobs, and save your seat. Because if y'all don't, we coming for your seats. We ain't taking this no more. We ain't taking no disrespect from a bunch of people who have broke into the country and now have completely broke the city, have completely broke the country, have completely disgraced the United States of America. America is a disgrace. And for us, oh my God, what a solution. You give us a fake, black, cackling hand of a candidate. With a vice president that's talking about he want to put tampons in the boys' bathroom. And the number one function of a president is to be the commander-in-chief. You tell me anything about a Kamala Harris that look like she can protect this country after y'all just sat up here and let it get overridden with a bunch of illegal immigrants. Y'all just sat up here and put America's hands in all kind of wars. And you telling me a tampon man that ran from duty don't even know what his rule was. Kamala Harris, who don't know what race she is, gonna protect this country? The devil is a lie. Y'all better keep your signs down. Yeah. I know that.
A lot of people going around saying, well, they're trying to replace black people with these immigrants. And these immigrants are coming in, they're being invited into the country and they're setting these people up. You know, I believe that's true, you know, but how many years have we been wasting time over here on things that are irrelevant? I mean, you have to take responsibility for that as well. You know, we're over here shooting and killing one another. You know, our people are very much into these idols that we have created. You know, these celebrities and these Beyoncés and these sexy reds and all of these people. You know, we've wasted a lot of time over here, you know, and we've created a culture that is detrimental to ourselves and therefore our future. We've shown ourselves to be irrelevant. And so when you see a people who are in this state of morality, you look at these people as irrelevant. And so sooner or later, someone's going to try their best to try to replace people like that, you know, and that's just it. Now, I'm not saying that our people shouldn't stand up and speak against it, because a whole lot of us are. But at the same time, you're gonna have to understand your part in this development. You're gonna have to understand, and you're just gonna have to come to understand that we help create what's going on right now because we have shown ourselves not to be productive. This is a follow-up on my previous video, the urgency of the times. Now, the videos that I put before this one explains what my previous video was talking about. See, what a lot of us don't understand is that you're going to have to understand what political science is all about. We're dealing with science, and we're dealing with the political principles. You know, science, the definition of science, it's the organizing knowledge of nature, and it's gained by experimenting and observation. Now, when you take that concept and you utilize it within the society, the social arena, like the politicians do, like they teach these young people in college, because I sit and I talk to young people all the time in terms of what they're taking up in college, because I live right next door to UNLV out here. And ever since the early 90s, I've come in contact with a whole lot of teachers and professors, and of course I can't mention their names, but I've become very good associates with them. And so I know, and by my having their, you might as well say like intellectual confidence, I was given the opportunity to freely sit inside of a whole lot of political science classes as well as biological classes. And what a whole lot of these college professors have come up with is a design that is based upon social studies, social engineering, and biology. And they mix these together, sometimes not in terms of just one class, but these different combinations of classes produce a concept inside of the student to where they actually cultivate these students to be phenomenal and yet corrupted politicians. Because all of these different forces of curriculum create a specific outlook towards society. Now, when it comes to science, as I said, it is the organizing knowledge of nature, and it's gained by experimenting and observation. See, what's going on today in our community, there's been a huge experiment going on in our community that we've willingly given into. And this has been going on since, you might as well say like the 1930s. And as I said before, going into the early 70s, after a whole lot of our leaders were assassinated, Some of them was deported. Some of them became westernized and therefore civilized according to what pleases this government system. I mean, I even know some brothers who I come up with in Chicago who were big time gang members. And yet the way that they controlled them, instead of sending them to prison, even though they threatened to send them to prison, they offered them an education. And they put these guys in city halls to look over and still pretty much control different segments of the community from their chairs in City Hall. So they may not be out there gang banging or killing people, but they do have a whole lot of people out there doing their bidding in terms of keeping the environment not exactly the way that it is, that it was when they were out there in the street, but very closely and very similar. So even though they're not out there in the street controlling things, they're now sitting behind a desk controlling things from City Hall by way of the corrupted education that they receive from this government system through these colleges. I bring all of this up is because what's going on right now in terms of this immigration, and why did it start happening now? Why are they making it so attractive and easy for these immigrants to come over here to easily settle in? I mean, if you go anywhere and someone gives you $15,000 for food and $5,000 a month, it's going to be very easy and convenient for you to settle in any territory, any city, any environment. You can practically choose. And this administration has provided that for these immigrants. They've provided that. Now, putting up signs throughout Chicago where this government and City Hall know has a high ratio of crime and violence. So this huge wave of immigrants suddenly come in. And this information of what they are obtaining from the city, as well from the government, is leaked out. This information is purposely leaked out so that the general public can know of these things. And so they put signs up that black people are hating on immigrants. And that is to cause strife in between the immigrants and black people, that the crime rate may increase, so that when these crimes break out due to the fact that the black people are provoked and yet not protected by the system, a whole lot of black people are either going to be killed or incarcerated. And the immigrants are going to be free to roam and pretty much do whatever the hell they want. And in the process of the population of black people decreasing, the immigrants are going to move into these communities at a massive increase, and therefore a lot of black people are going to be, quote unquote, replaced. But then you have to look at it. How did we become so expendable? What did we do to ourselves to be looked upon as diseases, undesirables? What have we done? Just look around you. We've made ourselves expendable, we've made ourselves undesirable, and we've made ourselves a menace to this society. And we put ourselves in the position to where even if they outwardly said that we intend on replacing the black community with this influx of immigrants, who's going to care? Who's going to care? That's how low in the state of morality we have become. We have made ourselves, as the Bible used to call, lepers, undesirables. I spent some time over in India many years ago, talking about like between 2007 and 2009. And over in India, the East Indians who had African in their blood, of course, came out as darker. The lighter skinned Indians who mixed their blood with the Arabs and the British, they called the dark skinned Indians Dalits, D-E-L-I-T, Dalits, which translate in harmony with the lepers of the Bible. You know, the people who had leprosy, which was a very contagious disease. So they called them Dalits, and the primary reason why they were called Dalits is because they compared these people to the lepers in the Bible. Stay away from them because, you know, what they have is contagious. And if you get too close to these people, then you're gonna get sick, or you're gonna be as they are. Over in India, there is an encouragement slash, you might as well say like common policy, is to keep the lighter skinned Indians separate from the darker skinned Indians in terms of relationships and things like that. And the East Indians, okay, they have a very strong record of racism over there. And believe me, I know. And so the majority of the times, they really don't want, quote unquote, their people to mix in with any races that are considered darker and therefore lepers or therefore undesirable. These Dalits are considered or titled over there in East India as untouchables. They call them the untouchables. Don't touch them. In other words, don't breed with them. Don't make any children with them, because your family is going to come out dark like them, and therefore your family legacy and tree is going to be contaminated. I'm bringing all of this up is because over here in America, when it comes to our community, the culture that has been cultivated is equivalent to that. It's become a disease. And it's become a disease because it's become a disgrace in comparison to all of the work that our elders put in order to bring about dignity and self-respect to our community. I said years ago, back in the 80s, and a whole lot of people got angry, which I didn't care. I was telling them that this hip hop music is going to be the moral demise to the black community. The hip hop community, as you all know, started out very political, and it was dealing with a whole lot of issues in the community. And then it became perverted. It became perverted. You had people like Uncle Luke, so-called Uncle Luke, coming in with the 2 Live Crew with their freedom of speech and expression, and they added strippers to it, and Okay? It went downhill after that. You had people like 357, and after 357, you had, I might be skipping over a few, but after 357, you had people like Little Kim, Foxy Brown, Trina, you know, and these Nicki Minaj's, and now you have what is, I mean, they really scraped the bottom of the gutter. Now we have this so-called sexy red creature that is running around here, that is putting forth this image of black women. And despite of how difficult black women have become, they are definitely not sexy red. Sexy red does not represent black women in our community. However, she's being strongly propagated, and a whole lot of her ideas are not being non-supported by her characters. Any perverted, crazy idea that she comes up with is pushed into our community. All of these different lip glosses with the titles of STDs, this is being pushed. And every video, you see that ratchet in. She's holding up these big balls of money. And you even see them little ignorant brothers, those idiots, standing behind her doing their little thing. And you wonder why the black community has become so undesirable everywhere. And they take this personality overseas. You've seen our women go to other areas of the globe, including Africa, and you see how they show out. And some of them come up missing. They get angry at the passport bros. However, the black woman over here in America, her dysfunction brought about. She manifested the passport bros. And she's even tried that same concept. However, the way she is today, nobody wants you. There's no place you can go. You can't go to Africa. You can't go to Asia. You can't go to the Hispanic community. And black men over here don't want you because of the depth of your degeneracy. And you pass that down to our babies. And yet still, a whole lot of people in our community just don't see any dysfunction in what's happening with us this day. And that's a huge problem. I'm telling those who are not on this level, prepare yourself. Because there's some dark times coming. There's some very, very dark times coming. And if you want to survive them, you keep your self-respect. You keep your dignity. And you keep your children away from the evil conformities that are put inside of this environment, like these sexy reds and these other defiling agencies that are injected in our community. And the people that are behind them promoting this. And you just can't say it's the white community. It's our community as well. It's all about money. They've sold their souls and they put these people out in society so that you may compromise yours. That's what it's all about. It's all about compromise. Are you going to compromise your moral standards? Are you going to protect your children? Are you going to, as a teacher, continue to speak up? And black men, let me explain something to you. Why is it that during these times, our black women are the only ones that are really standing up, speaking strongly against the opposition like that sister was. You standing there, yeah, say that, interrupting her. Don't interrupt the sister when she's expressing herself, because the opposition needs to hear every single word that she's saying. And then you have this elder down there. Looks like he's 71 or 72 years old. Be quiet, bro. You had your chance. You had your chance to speak up. Don't speak over this sister. If you're not going to stand up, black man, you don't deserve respect. If you're looking for our women to always speak up for us, don't be surprised when this black woman no longer respects you as a human being and as a man. It's like Brother Malcolm has said, until the black man stands up, then that black woman is going to be the most unprotected woman. Women like her, not these ratchets. But that sister who spoke up at that meeting, oh, you better believe she deserves protection. All the rest of these ratchets, they don't deserve protection. And I'm just gonna flat out say it. Leave it to me, I think they all should be eliminated. Get rid of them. Because they are stabbing at our children. They are stabbing at our children. And when it comes to these babies, what these black women are doing today, this modern day black women, by filtering this filth down to our children and displaying it to the world, they're telling the world, we got some more for you. Because we raising our children to be just as degenerate and filthy as us. These black women today are contaminating our babies and telling the world, we got some more for you. We got some more for you for the next 20 to 30 to 50 years. So which one is going to stand up and speak against this? Is it just going to be the black woman? Black man, when are you going to start standing up? Instead of and speaking against these things, instead of standing behind black women. Yeah, sister, speak. What about you? What about you? I thought the black man was God. Now you gave that title to the black woman. The black woman is God. So now the black man ain't God no more. So it takes the black woman to fight for the kingdom of heaven. What are you going to do? You're just going to continue to stand on the sidelines and let our brave sisters, the ones who really care about the direction this community is going in, like that sister, and also that teacher, that Sexy Red told to shut the fuck up. How come Sexy Red is just able to say that with confidence? Why is she so protected? We've got some dark times coming. Some dark times coming. And until y'all wake up and understand what's getting ready to happen by way of your sister, Kamala Harris, the one that you're getting ready to make president, you haven't seen no dark times. You wait until you put her in office the same way you black women put Biden in office. You haven't seen no dark times. Now go ahead. Oh, he's sitting up here with this black hood on his head. I don't give a damn what I'm wearing. I just came out of meditation and I don't have to explain anything to you. The same as Damon Dash doesn't have to explain anything to you in terms of his teeth. And that's another thing. We're going to have to end all of this mocking and making fun of people. Oh, yeah, his teeth fell out. Oh, look at Damon Dash. Yeah, you making videos about one of your own simply because his dentures fell out? Grow up. It's much more things that are more important to be sitting up talking about. We don't have no time to be mocking and making fun of one another. It's time to grow up. As the word says, when I was a child, I thought as a child and I spoke as a child. But when I became through time a man, I put away childish things. How about doing that? How about doing that? It's time. And if you don't realize it's time, there's some times coming that's going to leave you no choice but to accept that it's time. And with that being said, I'm going to leave you with this. And one of the reasons why I made this video is because in spite of how the Black community have treated me all of my life, in spite of how I see us destroying ourselves, I want to express my deep love and concern for us, because if we don't have love for ourselves, no one else will. And if we don't have love for ourselves on an individual basis, we won't be able to express it to one another. Let's get back to the village, because if there's any time for the village and its principles, it is now.